Yes, go ahead,
It
please.
says, yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhagavat Sanga program. Today, it's a very auspicious day. It's a Ekadashi, and we are also starting the new theme for Bhagavat Sanga. It is Dhruva Maharaj prayers to Lord Shri Krishna. And the reference for this prayers is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, verse 6 to 17. And we have wonderful devotees, Umesh Prabhu, Neha Mataji, and Meera presenting. Over to you, Prabhu and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you make me host?
I think, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you make Mataji host?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, we are able to see your screen.
Mataji, can you see the screen?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
I would like to thank Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhra Mataji and Veena Mataji for giving us this opportunity to present um, Dhruva Maharaj prayers of Lord Krishna. Um, so today we are going to present Dhruva Maharaj prayers to Lord Krishna. First, let me introduce who was Dhruva Maharaj. Lord Brahma's son was Swambhuva Manu. So Swambhuva Manu got married to Satyarupa, with whom he got two sons, Utnapada and Priyavada. Utnapada had two queens named Suniti and Suruchi. From Suruchi, he had son Uttama, and from Suniti, he had son named Dhruva. So now we will see how pain may also lead to realizing Lord Krishna. So once upon a time, King Utnapada was patting his son Uttama, placing him on his lap. At that time, Dhruva, his another son, was also trying to sit on his father's lap. But King didn't welcome his own son. Dhruva's stepmother Suruchi, who was very dear to King Utnapada, became very angry on the child. So from this, what we can learn is that as a common man, if we were a child, will we always see tough situations as opportunity to get to Krishna? In most cases, we will scold God and may stop believing in Krishna. Like Dhruva Maharaj, we should take tough situation in life as a blessing from Krishna, believing that Krishna has already reduced the intensity of the situation and that he always has our good in his mind. So, yeah. So now we will see Suruchi's attachment had blinded her. How the attachment had blinded her. So the story continues. She told to Dhruva that you don't deserve to sit on your father's lap. Your attempt is doomed to failure. Your desire will never be fulfilled. If you want this desire to be fulfilled, then you have to satisfy Narayana, and then only you will get that desire fulfilled. Or you need to take birth from my womb. What we can learn from this is, here is a parenting lesson, that we should not let our love for our family members create so much attachment that all we see is them and forget to treat other humans kindly and fairly. Here is the Suruchi, who is the mother herself, but using a harsh language for a 5-year-old child and suggesting a very tough process to fulfill child's desire, but also see how Krishna is doing his Leela. For his to be devotee Dhruva Maharaj, using Suruchi as the means.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Satya Prabhu, Subhra Mataji, and Veena Mataji, for giving us this opportunity. We also take this opportunity to read the chapters on all. So thank you for doing that and enforcing it in our lives. And also thanks all the devotees for taking time. So now let's talk about Suniti and why we feel Suniti ji is the model mother. Um, so let's see what happened first, and then we'll talk about our realization. He went to see his mother Suniti right after the incident happened. Dhruva Maharaj went to Suniti when crying, and even after hearing what had happened, uh, Suniti ji also started crying, and she was in grief and a lot of tears. Um, she didn't know the remedy for this painful situation, but she said that, my dear son, don't wish bad for others. Anyone who inflicts pain on others suffers himself from that pain. Here's a lesson, and we'll talk about it uh, in our realization. She also told that whatever Suruchi told is correct. You must engage yourself in worshipping lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Um, Suniti ji also told that even your grandfather executed such sacrifices and to satisfy Krishna. These instructions of Dhruva's mother was meant to fulfill his desired objective, so he left his father's house. What can we learn from Mother Suniti? Here's another parenting lesson. No matter what someone else has done to your child, you never teach your child to do wrong as an answer to another wrongdoing. They say two wrongs don't make a right? And that's why Mother Suniti is still guiding the son uh, to not do anything wrong or not to take the words wrongly or think about um, Mother Suruchi as a wrong person. So that's first lesson for us, parenting, right? Don't misguide your child. Also, Sunati ji teaches us here that we should, as parents, should never instill. Sorry, it should be
Yeah.
instill hate and disrespect for others in our child, right? So if oftentimes when an incident happened, to take side of the child or to be in his or her good books, uh, we try to take side of the child, right? And then try to probably say, yeah, the other person was bad, the words used was bad, and how could she do it? Uh, but Mother Suniti is not doing that here. She's still telling that to Dhruv Maharaj not to instill hate or to disrespect others, no matter what has happened. Although Suniti loves her child, Dhruva Maharaj, just like any other mother, but she was not blind by affection. Uh, they say, right? In Hindi, we say, Mamta often uh, makes the mother blind, and that starts the misguidance to the child. But here, Mother Suniti uh, has the same mamta, but is not misguiding. She knew that this incident and the resultant actions required will make Dhruv Maharaj a pure devotee of Krishna. So she knew the end result or the end goal is Dhruv Maharaj becoming Krishna conscious, and that's why uh, she supported Dhruv Maharaj that yes, you should follow Mother Suruchi's advice and instructions and go sacrifice uh, to attain Krishna. Even though Mother Suniti knew that the path is going to be tough, she encouraged the child to go to that path because the result is what is needed for her child and any of her childs for that matter. Now Krishna plays the Leela again, right? As Neha said, that whole if you look at this incident disconnected, then it seems like a family feud. But if you look the incident connected, it's Krishna's Leela to get his devotee close to him, right? And that's why once Krishna sees that the bhav is already starting to come, uh, let's see what Krishna does in this story. So Krishna sends Naradji. Naradji is shocked after listening this news that how such a small, powerful Kshatriya took this big decision of his life. This boy is very small. Two important qualities of Kshatriyas are to have sense of prestige and not to flee from battle. So obviously, Dhruva Maharaj is not gonna uh, shy away from taking the tough path. But there's also another aspect or perspective to this story, right? That look how Krishna is sending um, his messenger Naradaji. Always Naradaji goes wherever there is trouble. Krishna sends Naradaji. We have seen that in many pastimes, and here as well. Krishna is, ready to reciprocate, for his devotee, uh, as soon as the spark of bhakti comes, even if you have not become 100% devotee yet, right? Krishna is ready to shower his mercy through, in this case, sending Naraji. That's why when Krishna got to know Dhruva Maharaj wants to be his devotee, he right away started giving guidance to him by sending his messenger Naraji, which shows Krishna just sees the bhav of the devotee and the spark in you. You may not have turned a pure devotee or 100% devotee. Just this little spark is enough for Krishna.
Naraji assisting Dhruva Maharaj to be firm on his resolve. So here we will see that he told Naraji is telling to Dhruva Maharaj that such austerities are not possible for any ordinary man. It is very difficult. You are just a small child of, like, you are just 5 year old. It's very difficult to satisfy Lord Krishna. So he's telling to Dhruva Maharaj that it's better you go home. But Dhruva Maharaj, he is so determined that he didn't accept it. He told that I'm very hurt by my stepmother's harsh words, and that's why, Naraji, your instruction doesn't stand in my heart. Now, what we can learn from this? Many a times in our life, we want to do big things, and often we face hurdles. Many of us see the hurdle and drop the idea of chasing big things at different times. For example, following Krishna consciousness in our habits. However, we should take those hurdles in life as Krishna, helping us test our resolve to do the big thing.
Now, how Krishna is, relatively making the part of bhakti easy for Dhruva Maharaj, and maybe we'll talk about how making it easy for us as well in our realization. So Krishna through Narad Muni, uh, you know, sends instructions or guidance. How to attain me, where to go, like in this story. Uh, After hearing this, Narad ji became very compassionate towards him and gave his advice. Uh, so basically, as Neha said, first Narad ji tested the resolve and kind of bolstered the idea. It's going to be tough, for a 5-year-old to get out of the house. It's going to be tough. So he tested the resolve. Once he knew that the Dhruv Maharaj is determined, he started guiding. He advised him to go to on the bank of Yamuna, where there is forest named Madhuvan, and to do worship of Lord Krishna over there. He also instructed that you to take bath 3 times a day. After bathing, you should perform the necessary regulative principles of Astanga Yoga and then sit down on your asana in calm position. So basically, he's setting the stage, setting the situation, telling him where to go, making this a bit easy. Just Krishna's mercy. What we can learn from this? Well, Krishna conscious devotion should be treated like Narad Muni in our life, as Krishna enables us to be in good association of devotees, so that we are guided and protected in our path of Krishna consciousness. The fact that we are sitting here in Austin, and having such a great association of 200 plus families should be taken as a boon, and also devotees should be respected as Krishna's messenger. Maybe if I may go that far, as they are the forms of Narad Munis who are here to guide us in this Kali Yuga. Now, Lord Krishna finally comes to meet his child devotee, Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj became practically one in happiness, uh, one second, I'm not able to see. That's okay. You can. Sorry about that. So when Dhruva Maharaj became practically one in happiness with Lord Vishnu, due to his fully concentrating and closing all holes of his body, the total universe breathing became choked up. Um, he's a 5-year-old guy kind of creating a ripple effect in the entire universe by his austerities, and Now even the demigods are suffocated and took shelter of Lord Krishna. So uh, that's the determinant energy Dhruva Maharaj is sending. Lord Krishna told to demigods that I will stop this boy in his severe act of austerities and will save you from all this situation. When Dhruva Maharaj was fully absorbed in meditation, all of a sudden the form of the Lord which he was meditating upon in his heart suddenly disappeared. Dhruv, Dhruva Maharaj's meditation broke and he opened his eyes and saw Lord Krishna in front of him. So there was a form he was praying to in his heart, and it disappeared all of a sudden. That is Krishna sending an indication that I'm here in front of you. Um, what we can learn from this? Krishna showers mercy regardless of age, color, form, right? You could be Mexican, Indian, American, South Indian. You could be 5 years of age, 80 years of age. Uh, Krishna doesn't see that. And that is why we say Krishna's mercy is transcendental. Another important point is to observe Bhakti Bhav of Dhruva Maharaj, which led to Krishna realization, regardless of he knowing the scriptures. So he is a 5-year-old child, may not have read all the scriptures, um, but he has realized Krishna, right? Through his pure bhav of surrendered bhakti to Krishna. Go ahead.
Now we will see Dhruva Maharaj prayers to Lord Krishna. Dhruva Uvacha Yonata Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prashuptam Sanjivati Akila Shakti Dharasvatamna Anyamscha Hastacharana Shravnat Vagatin Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tupyam. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj said, My dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within me, you have enlivened all my sleeping senses, my hands, legs, ears, touch sensation, life force, and especially my power of speech. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Our realization of the purport. We all are parts and parcel of Krishna, but the three modes of nature makes us forget it. That's what happened to Dhruva Maharaj. Although he was utilizing his senses in praying for Krishna, but he could only feel Krishna in his personal form when Krishna himself came and touched him through his conch shell. That touch of Krishna revived the spiritual energy of Dhruva Maharaj and made him a pure devotee. What we can learn from this? Even in this stage of Kali, in this day of Kali, we are still parts and parcel of Krishna. Our personal touch to Krishna is through Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the association of the devotees. Don't we feel full of spiritual energy when we chant Mahamantra and when we meet devotees? That is Krishna's touch and his blessing in this Kali Yuga. Second prayer is Bhaktim Muhu प्रवाहतं तैमे प्रसङ्गो भूयादनन्ता महातं अमलस्यायानं येनाञ्जसो जसोल्बनं युरोव्यासनं भवक्तिं निसेवावद्गुणा कथमृता पनामता. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing, fire like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes which are eternally existent. Purport summary.
The significant point in Dhruva Maharaj's statement is that he wanted the association of pure devotees. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be relishable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This is an expert just from the purport. The second point Prabhupada mentions is the purport of this statement by Sri Dhruva Maharaj is that devotional service in association of devotees is the cause of development of further devotional service. By devotional service only is one elevated to the transcendental planet of Goloka Vrindavan. And there also there is only devotional service, for the activities of devotional service both in this world and in the spiritual world are one and the same. The Lord says, Satam Prasignam Mama Vriya Samvido Bhavanti Hitkarna Rasyana. Only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to the heart and ear. What we can learn from this? Krishna knows that this world is full of evil energies, distractions, and never ending material traps. And that's why he has sent devotees so that we can navigate the modes of nature pleasantly and without succumbing to its evil forces. We all should utilize this blessing of Krishna and always associate with devotees who will make us feel uh, that this path is soft as flower petals, while in reality it is full of thorns.
Next shloka is Vyam Nitya Mukta Parisuddha Vibhuta Atma Hita Sthayadi Purusho Bhagavamastri Ashtra Adisha Yad Buddhi Avasthitam Akhanditya Swadrishtya Drashta Sthitav Adhimakho Vyatirikta Ase. Translation: My Lord, by your unbroken transcendental glance, you are the supreme witness of all stages of intellectual activities. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness, and you are existent in the super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with six opulences, and you are eternally the master of the three modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entities. As Lord Vishnu, you maintain all the affairs of the entire universe, and yet you stand aloof and are the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Our realization of the purport. So, here in the purport, Prabhupada ji mentioned that Dhruva Maharaj is carefully distinguishing the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from that of the living entities. He points out the following differences. The Lord is eternally liberated. Whenever he appears, even within this material world, he is never entangled by the three modes of material nature. He is therefore known as Tridesh, the master of the three modes of material nature. The contamination of the material world does not affect the Supreme Godhead. Another difference between the Lord and the living entity is that living entity is always in darkness. Even though he may be situated in the mode of goodness, there are still so many things which are unknown to him. But it is not the same for Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna knows past, present, and future and everything that is happening in everyone's heart. What we can learn from this? If 5-year-old child can understand that Krishna is supreme and can realize Krishna, why should grown-ups waste time in questioning Krishna's existence or even portraying that Krishna was a human? Rather, we should use every moment to glorify Krishna. Realize the Dhruva in you. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Just chant and be happy.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu and Mataji. That was a simply fantastic presentation. Very, very nicely said that why are we wasting time? We have to accept and follow the Krishna consciousness, right? So very beautiful recitations, very melodious, Mataji, and very nice realizations. And I really like how you all started the first Dhruva Maharaj story and why he was meditating and what for each of it, what is the lesson we have to learn. So absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for that. I know Umesh Prabhu, you were also sick, but you still did this.
No,
We
Mataji.
really
Thanks
thank
for
you very much.
this opportunity, Mataji.
Yes.
It's all Satyasai Prabhu's grace.